Couch Rider, Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though. Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is your host, Jermaine Lockett, the Couch Rider Raven. We had one heck of a day, folks. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all coming through to help build this channel. And so there's apparently my son Cameron. He wanted to say what's up, and I also had to make sure that I have the Cash App going so he can get his QT money, because this dude is all about it. If I don't get it, he comes and shakes me down for my own money. So if you want to donate to his cause, you can either do the super chat, or you can go ahead and hit the Cash App there. All proceeds will go to this dude's fat fund. I'm kidding, but yes, it will go in that direction, because we take trips on the weekend to go to QT. But anyway, that's not what you came here for. That's not what you came here for. What you did come here for is to help me reach that level of, I think it's 1,100 subs, or is it 1,100 subscribers? I think we might be at 1,000, was it 1,021 or something like that? Y'all probably have to check it yourself, but yeah, we made it. So I appreciate everybody who helped get us there. And of course, what we do every show is recognize that Jiro is still here. This is something that we're going to have to get through. It's going to be some struggle pains. A couple of y'all ain't going to be able to handle it. Y'all might want to get off the train, but we're still here. We're still on this train on our way to M&T Bank Stadium, and I believe we are under 100 days until football returns. We're at 93 days until football returns. And I told you I was going to do something along the lines of a motivational minute to keep y'all rocking, keep you motivated, and let you know that I care about each and every one of you. So when you get up in the morning, I want you to think about something. Think about these two animals, the lion and the gazelle. And y'all probably familiar where this talk comes from. But you got to think about this gazelle. This gazelle wakes up in the morning knowing one thing, that it's got to run. Because if it does not run, it will get eaten. And in the morning, the lion wakes up and knows one thing as well, that it has to run. Why? Because if it doesn't run, it doesn't eat. Think about your journey in the morning and throughout your day. Are you the lion or are you the gazelle? Are you having to go chase your food down, or are you the one being chased because somebody is hot on your tail? Be motivated. Be able to run after your goals, after your dreams, or go chase down that target, dragging, kicking, and screaming, and making sure you eat that thing. Get after it. Be hungry. Be motivated. Recognize whether you're the lion or the gazelle. Pick your competition and go get it, folks. That's your motivational moment for today. I hope it was a good one for you. Now let's see who we got in the room. So Delicious is here. He was first. He beat Bless Brian today. Let's see. All right. Oh, that's me. Sorry. All right. Got Wilbert. So I've been trolling my type of stream. Oh yeah, this is definitely your brand here. This is your party here. Frankie B, what's good? So it's been, he ain't caught the intro in a minute, huh? So you've seen the intro now. Well, you can give me your thoughts. Go ahead and let me know what you think of the intro. You think it needs to be changed? You think you like it? It was just something that I was having issues with copyrights, and my guy came through, made me a beat. He left some space in there, and I might have took it the rest of the way. So Chris says, poor justice. Eustace. Well, I think he shouldn't be poor. It's not him. It's on Tyson. Tyson. Said, poor Ting Ting. He said, whoa, bro, what's good, brother? Yo, this is my brother right here, GK. Oh, and then my other brother, DZ is in the building, y'all. Got a lot of family coming out. I appreciate y'all coming through. This is going to be live. Oh, y'all probably wondering where my counterpart is. He's probably out walking the dog or getting some cereal or doing something along those lines, but he will be coming along with a mouthful of everything we need to hear. All right. So, oh, sorry. That's yeah, got that dang Giro. Yes, we do. He's still there, man. The thing is, there's good and bad what comes with Giro, and we just got to take the good, the things that he does excel on, and make sure that those are really excelling, and making sure those are the things that we focus on, while also, looking at some of the flaws and figuring out ways to fix those. And I think that is what the offensive coordinator not changes, but the additions to go and help him have been brought in for. Chris says a depressed gazelle has to be hilarious. Right, bro. I'm hungry right now. Okay, so y'all talking about the motivation. Brooke is in the building, y'all. What's good? She got that notification bell. Let's go. I don't know if it's a notification bell or maybe actually putting it on her page, but hey, either way, you hear. Frankie B said it's pretty good. So you like the intro, man. I appreciate it. So the things I wanted to discuss was today there was two big happenings. One of the big happenings was the Ravens signing a former Atlanta Falcons, former 49er, former Hawks, former Panther, former Bears player. This guy's a seasoned vet. They signed Mike Davis. And both of those thick thighs that he has, apparently, pause. But the dude has like thighs like Saquon Barkley. I mean, they both can't fit into golfer's pants without the pants struggling, saying, "Please help me, let me out." They just screaming, wanting to get out of the pants because dude's thighs is ridiculous. Anyway, he'd be on the Thigh Master, just sleeping at night, just going in. All right, and then of course, what happened right after that? You signed too many running backs because you had a whole stable. I mean, you got everybody from Gus, you got JK, you got Eustace, you got Justice Hill, you had Tyson, then you have Mike Davis, you got McCrary, you got Beatty. I mean, there was so many running backs, a whole stable full of them. You got 9 of them, 10 of them, and somebody had to go. Somebody had to be voted off the island. And why not free Tyson out of John Harbaugh's basement and send him on free to other pastures where somebody will actually use him for his talents? I had to think about it because I was a little hot right there, but I was like, you know what? At least he's free. He is finally free and able to show his talents on another organization, show what he's really capable of. Because there's some things I want y'all to see. Like when week 1 and week 2 were going down for the Baltimore Ravens, this guy was a stud. He was a stud. Some people say, oh, he didn't block. He didn't play special teams. Look, did you ask Jamal Lewis back in the day, did he play special teams? Did you care? Because of the talent level was through the roof. And you saw what he was capable of. You wouldn't bother asking Jamal Lewis, especially if you didn't want to get beat up, because he was kind of like that dude. You didn't ask him if he was going to play special teams. You didn't ask, hey, Jamal, you got that block? There's the things that you develop as a rookie. And learning to block is one of those things. Mesh point. Y'all talk about the fumbles. The fumble against Kansas City, that was a freak accident. I don't know. That just happened. I say, hey, okay, that's on him. Ball security, got to secure that ball. But mesh point is a communication situation. There's a communication error between the quarterback and the running back. Now, of course, the ball pops out. Usually it's on the running back because the running back got a little bit of greedy. So, yes, those are some issues, but they could have been cleaned up. He got treated just like Pierce got treated back in the day. Just swept under and put in a closet, and can't nobody find him. Everybody looking for my boy. Can't find him nowhere. Anyway, let's pay some bills here. Let's talk about it. Bless Brian is in the building. All right. Brooke says, yeah, she was notified by the bell and her page blowing up with me on it. So I appreciate you taking a look at the page. Hopefully some other people got on there as well. All right. Frankie says, Eustace is most likely going to be a bubble player that is cut. It's a battle between Justice Hill and Tyler Beatty. Honestly, you got a drafted player and you got a guy who they've been trying to get to show up. And of course, he was injured last year, and he actually was going to be the starter. This was his opportunity, and then he gets injured as well. So, yes, it is going to be a bubble situation, be a full-on battle. Justice has to show up big time. And I'm talking not just your average, 3 and 4 yards of carry. he's got to break a few. He's got to break a few in preseason. He's got to show everyone like, hey, this is me. This is why the Ravens drafted me, because I got all this speed and I got all the shiftiness and I have a little bit of power. He showed that against the Steelers back in the day. He's got to show that he's the guy, or he's gone. He's gonna be working at Albertsons next to all the other players is getting cut around here. I don't know why I keep picking Albertsons, but apparently it's a good spot for former athletes. So shout out to everybody hiring former athletes. Blessed, it's not Wednesday, man. It's not. Where you at? Hey, I don't know if we're in a time machine or something, but you need to get in that Mandalorian and come back a day, because today is Tuesday. Bless says, so the NFL schedule releases Thursday. All right, so don't believe what you heard. So what I have learned on Twitter is that everybody wants notoriety. Everybody wants their voice to be heard. They want to be known as the person who broke the schedule. And honestly, I say majority of those releases are cap. I say 75% of what is on Twitter right now about schedule releases is full on cap, unless you see it come from a blue check. And nowadays, because of the people actually reporting the news, because Lock and Four's got a blue check, and he's keeps reporting stuff on Landry. So then, of course, Ian Rappaport's like looking at Lock and Four as a trusted source, and then he's reporting this mess. So it's just all over the place about who you can trust on Twitter. I'm having trouble figuring out who that is exactly. Pretty much it's going to boil down to Jonas Schaefer, and it's going to boil down to Hensley. But yeah, somebody who I can trust is here in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, the chosen one, Kam Ru. What's good, my guy?
Long day, brother.
I feel you.
Martial arts class. I'm glad to see you. Everything good?
Yeah. So we talking about it right now. We're getting into it, man. Talking about Mike Davis, you know what I'm saying? And I took it okay as far as Tyson. It was a little bit of tears, you know what I'm saying? I was a little hurt, you know what I'm saying? But I thought about it, it's just better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all, you know what I'm saying?
Feelings, all in your feelings, all in your feelings.
You know what I'm saying? He's cold-blooded, man. Harv's had him down in the basement. We called the FBI. They came, they saw, and they was like, Harv's had all these excuses as to, he's got a bowl of water and food down here, so y'all need to leave him alone. And then he bring him out on game days and then, just like, hey, you can dress, but you're going to sit your butt right there. You're going to sit there and think about what you did all these weeks ago without blocking, all these weeks ago with them couple of fumbles. I know it's week 16. We're going to get you your one carry, and then you're going back to the bench, young man. And that's just cold. He's just cold with it, man. So I'm glad. He can go somewhere else. He can do his thing, man.
Hold on 1 second before I get to your response. Miss Brooke, I just came from martial arts class. I drove 30 minutes. I went and got my dog. I did a favor. I walked my dog and I walked somebody else's dog, my friend's dog. That's another good 25 some odd minutes. Then after that, I got to drive my behind from there to here. Then I got to get in and try to settle down. I ain't even eat nothing. Give me a put a hat on. All types of dirt on. Anyway, you're gonna have to get used to it for a minute, man. Anyway, but go ahead, continue on, sir.
Let's see. All right, so Frankie B says Tyson Williams' biggest issue was he couldn't pass block, and I think Harbaugh put him on blast to just about every possible thing. Like in the conference, like I never I ain't seen nobody get dogged out like that since Jimmy Johnson dogged out the Cowboys back in the day, like in the presser. He is like, you know what? You got to be able to play special teams. You got to be able to pass block. You got to be able to hold on to the ball. You got to be able to play football. You got to be able to wipe your draws. You got to be able to wash your draws. You got to be able to do all these different things. Just like, are you serious? Like, bro, like.
Now that you say something, I think something must have happened. I really think it's more like the special teams is part of it. And then to come find out he didn't even sign his tender.
Yeah, it was withdrawn. It was like, all right, here's your tender, bro.
No, they offered the tender on him a while.
Here's the tender, and Tyson was like,
no,
you want to sign? You want me to sign this to put me back down in the basement? And Harv was like, go ahead, man. Go ahead, sign that, man. Go ahead, bro. I got you a spot right down here, down the stairs. If you could, move that thing out the way, move it close. Yeah, you down there.
He wasn't this is what I saw, and I know y'all, a lot of y'all Tyson Williams. I like Tyson.
fan.
I don't think that he definitely didn't fit the system, in my opinion. As far as like, I think if you look at his college tape, okay, in BYU, they did an RPO, but their RPO is totally different. Like even their RPO, it was always like he paused. It was not like straight hit the hole. Like you gotta hit the hole. It's a one gap run. Boom, get the ball. You can be patient by this amount of time, a millisecond of patience. You got to hit the hole like that.
Yeah, and there's a certain level of patience, and then a certain level of
Right.
you got to, like I said, patient to the hole, and
Right.
then speed through that joint.
Yeah,
You know,
that's not his game. I think his game is more if you run a stretch system. He's like perfect. He'd be perfect in a Shanahan type system where it's like you get some options. Even though it may be an outside off the tackle, you got an option inside because of the way that the stretch system is ran. So you find the hole and you hit the hole. I think that's the difference. I just think that I see why they got Davis because they don't have anybody. This is all right. Before I don't even know where'd you go before I go running on my tangent.
no, I was all over the place, man. I was fussing about Davis. I was fussing about Williams, all that, man. So yeah, we can say kick it off how we want to kick it off, man.
But the reason why I think that they signed Davis is because because of the ACL. Okay, you want to be ready. Stay what Engraven had to love to say. Stay ready.
You never got to get ready.
Right, but the point being is that just tells me that they're not. JK and Gus are not really. They're not going to be ready in the beginning of the season, which makes sense because the ACL takes off of ACL. It takes longer to heal from an ACL than it does from Achilles. Because you don't get it either one, you don't really get that much blood there, right?
Yeah.
But then that's your knee. We're not talking about a place where we can bandage and we tighten all the strings because your Achilles is like a whole bunch of rubber bands. You got all types of stuff going on with your knee, with the ACL, and you gotta flip, gotta come over this way to the MCL and all of this. Like it's so much going on. I'm not
get you a whiteboard and a diagram and all that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You good, bro? You good?
I'm getting my right now. No,
like I had to go through some knee tests recently, and it was excruciating. Like the way she put me through them tests, the doctor, she had me doing some serious, some weird movements. Next thing you know, my knees being bent back this way and into the side, and then she had me actually hold this the sink, and then pretty much do the Hollywood, or South Side. Excuse me, I do South Side while holding the, for y'all, those of y'all don't know what the South Side is, just y'all got to Google it. It's one of the hottest dances in the South coming up through the 90s and 2000s. So, but anyway, she had me do the South Side, and that's when the pain hit. The pain hit bad because I had a patella injury.
Right.
But she was testing every single ligament at the time to see, okay, what band was hurt, what band was missing. Did I snap anything? Mm-hmm. And by the time we were done with the physical test, there was no need for MRIs and all that. When it comes to these players, they're doing all those tests to see what they can handle on each ligament.
Yep.
And then, of course, if they can't go at a full speed, at a full pace, some people heal differently. T.O. was one of those ones who healed within 6-7 months, didn't he?
Right. Yeah. That is because his leg broke, right?
Yeah.
And again, it all depends on what it is. But the thing with Davis is a big back. He's not, this is my prediction right now. I think that just off the injuries, Gus's ACL, I would be more hesitant to bring Gus back early than I would be to bring back JK. JK, only reason because JK's happened from a hit. It didn't happen because he wasn't, he made a move and it just popped. That's a big difference. That means that ligament either was already going to go, for Gus or something. A non-contact injury is the weirdest injury ever, and it's the scariest one because there could be some other damage. Something else could be weak.
I wonder, was he hit before and something really caused it a previous injury, kind of like RG3.
Right.
They let this dude play a whole extra game, and it got progressively worse, and that's when the big injury happened.
Yeah.
But it was Haoli Nada that snapped that thing.
Yeah,
At least that's what it looked like.
Yeah, he did the Superman. And then
He folded up
out
it
of
like a lawn chair, you know?
all the way up here in the Raptors. But it no, but so that's what that's telling me with Davis. That means that okay. So this is just my prediction, just from what I'm seeing. JK may be ready at week 1, but I'm saying he'll be back week 2, week 3. I think that Gus won't be back into the end of September. So you want to be you gotta it's going to take 10 months for them to actually hit, right? To be fully strong. Then you got to get in the football shape. So you got to start cutting and everything like that. It's just, it's the same thing for Marcus. Marcus may be ready. He might be the only one that might be able to actually get out because he's not getting the difference between him and between Marcus and Gus and him is the fact that he's cutting, but he's not. That's not his job. Like he ain't catching, running the ball and getting out. Somebody gonna hit him, or he ain't, up there trying to throw jukes and everything. He got to cover people, but it's more. It's more gonna be like him just getting back his full movement.
Yeah, I mean it's more hip movement than anything.
He's not gonna be up there trying to cut on the dime like the rest of these jokers are. So Davis is insurance. That's why it's a 1 year. But I got a feeling I don't think we're gonna cut Justin. At first I thought he was going. Then I'm starting to think right now we're gonna keep like 4 or 5. I think Gus or DK is either gonna start on the pup list to be on the safe side. And make sure that he's good and he's ready to go. That's just my opinion. But go ahead.
All right, so a couple people coming for you. Let's see. Bless Brian said he fried again.
Bro, I gotta go to class. I gotta get to class.
Brooks said you got excuses. And then Bless said you go get some cereal or soup.
I gotta eat my dinner, Bless. I gotta eat my dinner.
And then we went into the talk about Tyson with the whole Harbs don't like him for some reason. Yeah. I mean, we can see that relationship is jacked.
Yeah, something didn't go right, man, because he was praising him in the beginning, and I'm assuming because he kept stressing the special teams. Did you know in that interview that you're talking about? It seemed like he stressed that.
He blasted him for everything. It was like I never see the player. Usually they say, "Hey, you got some things to work on," and usually they'll say, "Hey, they'll leave it at that." Hey, there's some things we're fine tuning with this player. There's some things we got to work on. We're gonna get it back in the lab. It's gonna be good to go.
Right.
But John went at it. He went in.
I think because he got tired. I wonder if he just got tired of people asking him about him, like, why isn't Tyson? Because it got like each week he was getting less and less carries.
Yeah.
But it was like when he went, he's like, hey, because he was like, if you're the third running back, you got to do special teams. You just can't come out there and think you're gonna get the ball all the time. He was something frustrated him, bro. It just didn't sound right. He wasn't trying to. It wasn't like he threw him under the bus, but he was definitely like going. He had to get some things off his chest. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. So I thought like. I don't know. For me, I can imagine the movie Tombstone going on right now. When one of the Earp brothers died, and you just see Harbaugh just sitting there, just like looking at him as Tyson's walking out of the building. He's like, "Well, bye." It's just disrespectful as all.
The Tombstone movie, boy, that was a good movie too.
So those movies, man. I love watching the Wyatt Earp and the regular Tombstone. They were both very good to me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So Delicious says T.O. went crazy in that Super Bowl. Off topic, but he is a 1A with Rice for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about greatest? Yeah, I agree. They both were very phenomenal receivers in their time. Now the receivers of today's time are doing different things. They make these guys bigger, faster, stronger, something along those lines. For what they did for their era was great, and then for what these guys are doing for their era is also great.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Frankie says, I always thought Mike Davis was brought in because of his play style was closest to Edwards. Davis and Gus have similar running styles. What I like about Davis is he has a serious cutback.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the things that he does in the passing game is pretty good as well. Yep. So the things that, of course, I wouldn't go look these things up. So this is just from 2021. This guy had 44 catches for 259 yards and 1 touchdown. But he also rushed 138 times for 503 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, and he had 3 touchdowns. And the dude he's 29 years old, so he's still got a little bit of leg left. Like I said, once you hit your 30s, everything starts to go downhill. At least that's what I've realized with my own legs. But but with these players, they get treated as such as well as far as the legs. You can still see a little bit of burst. He's got more burst than Murray had back there. And I'm
And
looking
again,
forward.
he's a white. He was in that stress system. It didn't really work for him because he's like a one cut. Like remember, he before he went to Atlanta, and he was in Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Carolina and he was in Seattle. Both of them was like
before
one gap.
he went to Atlanta, yeah, he was in Carolina, then Chicago, and then back to Carolina,
Wasn't he in Seattle before both of them?
and then Seattle before that, and
That's-
then with the 49ers before that.
So, he's been trying to make his way, but that stress system doesn't work. Anything one gap, that's when he's been like, he's done decent. And in the Carolina, because Chris McCaffrey got hurt, so it made sense that and he did what he had to do. But Carolina's Carolina. But go ahead.
Hey, saying definitely good to not rush JK or Gus. I'm with it. I'm with it. I don't know. Like I wish Tyson had still been here to shoulder some of that load, but it's just for a dream that I thought was going to happen, it's gone. That dream is sailed.
You got to think about it this way too. When he did have the opportunity to get it, it wasn't like something happened. Like the times other than those first two games against the Raiders, and then when he played against Kansas City, the Kansas City game was the only one I kind of questioned his vision. I wasn't even questioning the fumble. I mean, I know that was one of the reasons. Like you got to hold on to the ball. Always don't play that, especially being a special teams coach. You better hold on to the ball. They ran like a sweep. I forgot what the play was, but they ran it before when they had JK and they had Gus when they both were healthy, and Gus would block for JK and either wherever the opening is, either on the outside or that middle gap or the tight end, and it was he could have scored, bro. It was like my grandmother could have ran through that hole. It was so big, and Tyson took it on the outside when he should have just cut it straight up. So,
yeah, bro, go get him. Go pull up for me, please.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up, bro.
I'm a little hurt, man. Go ahead and take care of business for me, man.
But you can't. I don't think it's a bad move though, man. I think Davis might be a little bit. I just think the system. You gotta get the players that match your system, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I got love for him, bro. I know he gonna land on his feet. Because he's still good. He's good. He's gonna land on his feet. He just gotta hold on to that rock too, though.
All right, so I'm thinking like other guys that could be like running back heroes back there. Of course, I want to sing the song every time I see the name on the screen or whatever, but had like their own Ravens version or whatever. Like Ravens never had them a baddie. Got the rock and he took it to the teddy. Like what's up?
I think he might be quiet as kept. I think he might be a diamond in the rough, man. He might be something.
All right. I like him already because he's from my state. He from La La Land, from Louisiana. I like the guy, man. He's a small one. He's about 5'8", 197, but
yeah.
I think he's a solid prospect. I mean, he got a decent grade on him, and he runs a 4.45. So, I mean, I looked at his tape, and I'm not blown away, but I think he's a decent pickup. I do like what I saw to Davis. I think if we had to go week one and say we got to rock with Davis as our starter, I'd feel some sort of confidence right there with just maybe having Justice Hill as a backup in that situation. That'd be a good 1-2 punch and have Beatty in there as rotation.
Until you get your horses back, man. You don't want to rush nobody back from no ACL, man.
So a lot of G-Ro in the dungeon. And then King Venom wants to come after the strength and conditioning coaches.
You can't do it because it ain't really them, man. It's just one of those things. Like Gus. All right, Gus and the only ones that really happened in practice was Gus and Marcus, right? Those are the only two that happened in practice. They got injured in practice.
Yeah.
And then JK, man, you want to blame somebody on the JK hit? You know who you gonna blame? You can blame Bozeman because he didn't get his behind out there. He was too slow to get out there on that screen.
Yeah, he got blown up. Oh,
yeah. And JK tried to cut back, and old boy dove for him and hit him in his knee.
Yeah.
If you want to blame somebody, we're gonna blame that one. We're gonna blame on Bozeman, who we don't have anymore.
That was just such a freak situation. I'm just like, oh man. I was like, that was like a Torrey ACL. As I'm looking right at it, I'm like, crap, I just picked him up in fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I think I was on the clock. I was on the clock to pick him up. And then I was like, well, you just tore your ACL. So I kind of moved past.
I know we already had the draft. I'm like, next time, man, we're gonna wait until after the third game at his draft. I was sick. I was like, go on.
Last year was definitely a very odd year for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
the thing is people they sleeping on us right now. They sleeping as far as thinking that since all these other teams did all these improvements, and don't get me wrong, the way the Raiders are set up right now is phenomenal. I mean, when you got Chandler and you got Crosby sitting on opposite ends of each other, when you got Devontae and you got Darren Waller sitting right there, dude, offense and defense, as far as that goes, they got some chess pieces, some major chess pieces. Does that make them instantly better than everybody in the AFC West? Only time is going to tell. Because right now you can have those superstars in the offseason. Cleveland has had plenty of them. I hate to say it, Wilbur, but Cleveland has had a bunch of great off seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens during the regular season? What happens when, let's just say, Deshaun gets that 6-game suspension, and that may be the 6 games that y'all needed in order to get into the playoffs? Mm-hmm. Where's Cleveland at then? When you're calling up backup quarterbacks off the couch because Baker won't play for y'all for $18 million a year, and y'all can't get rid of him because you don't want to lose $18 million. So, that may be a tough situation for the Cleveland Browns. When you're looking at Kansas City, do they have all the chess pieces they need? Do they have the corners that they need? Will the wide receivers gel? Because they didn't last year as well as they should have. No, those wide receivers didn't gel that great.
Mr. Invisible just Mr. Invisible. I said Mr. Invisible.
Invisible said, "What's up, y'all? Can y'all tell me why we signed a running back and not a receiver?" That was with me, and that's where I came in with this whole trolling piece. Eric DaCosta keeps hearing y'all whine and whine and whine about how you want Jarvis Landry, how you want.
I don't listen to this dude.
How you want all these wide receivers.
Don't listen to this dude.
And so look, I'm telling you, Eric DaCosta's here listening to all this. He's just on Lacey's account, just looking. That's his burner. I'll be honest with you. Lacey is his burner account to where, he might pop in and say a comment here and there or whatever. But let's be real. Like, he's sitting here looking at these comments and he's seeing all this. He's like, let him say one more word about a wide receiver. I done told y'all I trust the guys in-house. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay. Hey, Mike, what you doing, man? Come on to Baltimore. Say another word. Say wide receiver one more. I dare you. I dog dare you. Say another word about wide receiver. And it's on in this mother. Shut up. And so pretty much he is trolling everybody in Ravens Nation.
He ain't trolling nobody. Come on, tell the truth.
He's like, y'all want me to bring a wide receiver? I got you, fam. Running back. Bring another one. Say wide receiver again.
Nah, go ahead. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Why? Tell them why.
You said what now?
Why we bringing the running back?
I mean, honestly, with all the injuries.
Honestly. Huh? I said honest opinion.
Oh, you said whose opinion?
No, I said honestly, what's your opinion?
Oh, why we riding a running back versus wide receiver? Oh, well, I mean, you already know. I feel like the EDC has trust in the wide receivers that are currently in the stable. I think he really thinks like, hey, these guys, Duvernay has some of the best hands in college. Brochet has some of the best hands in college. Wallace has yet to be seen what he is capable of. And if Eric DaCosta sticks to his guns, there might be some reaping of those benefits there. Of course, if it doesn't work out, then you can still trade before week 9. But at least give these guys a shot to see the field, to get that opportunity to be great. Some dude just basically told me to stop protecting Prochet or stop coming after and campaigning for Prochet or whatever. But he didn't have any basis as to why I shouldn't. All he was saying was that he was inactive after going 7 for 7. I was like, so he caught 7 out of 7 catches, and you telling me that is the reason that he went inactive? No, he went inactive because that was a coaching decision. Now here's the opportunity for him to go live because they decided to put in Sammy instead of him a couple of times, and that's what the problem was. Sammy got benched by Duvernay. You
And
know,
it's
Duvernay
honestly,
outplayed him.
go ahead. So just to piggyback off of that, honestly, I think that um, EDC, when he said he was looking for a particular type of receiver, I think you can tell by looking at the all the undrafted free agents that came in. So that leads it down to one thing. He was only going to try to get Drake London. But if Kyle Hamilton wasn't there, if Davis wasn't there,
Yeah, it was just too many scenarios right there that could have went down to where, like, I mean, it would have been a lot of dominoes that we needed to fall in order for the Ravens to pick a wide receiver, and also a lot of dominoes that we needed to fall in order for what exactly happened. Nobody was expecting that Kyle Hamilton was going to slide down the board that much.
No,
He was one of the top 5 players that were projected before the combine.
some people
Before
had him as
combine numbers came out there, that dude was hot. We're talking about he was hot like the new Debbie Snacks on the street.
mm-hmm.
Like everybody knew about him and was like, "Hey, this dude is hot. He's the next Ed Reed." You know, and when you get in that type of comparison and getting a phone call from the GOAT on draft day, you know you good. You know you were cold when you get a call from this dude right here. You know, not God, number 20. But
That's real. That's real.
yeah, he was phenomenal. So, you know, of course, they said that they had no intention, or they had no scenario, excuse me. They had no scenario that worked out to where they would have been able to draft Kyle Hamilton. And what happened? He falls right into the laps. So I'm going to be honest with you. If Davis and him are on the clock at the same time, I still don't see a scenario where they even take Davis. They still take Hamilton. Yeah, I was kind of like, maybe I had my blinders on because I was so crazy about Davis, but recognizing where I thought at the same time, I thought Hamilton was going to the Giants. I did not think there was a scenario where he slipped past the Giants. I was like, the Giants going to get him. It's just that simple. You got 2 picks. You got to pick the best safety in the draft. You got to give Wink a gift. Give him the best gift out there.
So can you go to let me just.
Who that?
The gentleman's name is Leon Minor. His real name is Leon, right?
How far is he up? Let's see.
Always at the bottom.
All the way at the bottom? Oh, Invisible Minor. Okay, Leon, what's good? He said, my name is Leon. Thank you for answering my question. I have no problem with signing a running back, but I thought a receiver would be the first one we signed. That's the thing. Like, everybody has been clamoring and fussing about getting a wide receiver for years. This is just the normal Baltimore Ravens talk every offseason. We want a receiver. We want a receiver. And Baltimore hasn't brought in that dog that they want. Since Anquan Bolton, they hadn't brought in the dog. Well, I guess Steve Smith. Steve Smith. Yeah, so that was the dog that they brought in. And then they tried to bring in Mike Wallace and try to put some other Band-Aids here and there. But, you know, Crabtree, out of his prime, is what we brought in. We were expecting that guy to show up, and Brooke got a little emotional, you know, and we started dogging him out after a Cleveland Browns game and stuff. But, you know, we ain't going to go there.
I'm just going to – I said this earlier. I don't know if you were here, Leon, but my reason for it was the fact that I don't think they want to rush back Just or JK. Not Just, I'm sorry, Gus or JK. I think Justice Hill, I think he's ready to go because it's been more than 6 months with the Achilles, so he's ready to go. But I think that you probably don't want to rush back Gus because it was a non-contact injury, so he might need a little bit more time. He may be healed, but he got to get in the football shape.
Yeah, it's like a boxer. You know, when the boxers get down a certain weight, you know, they got to be able to get into they got to feel comfortable at that weight. They got to be able to get in fighting shape for that weight. There's just, you know, there's a shaving piece and a training piece, and that's kind of where this ACL situation is. There's just a physical therapy piece to get you back to things normally functioning. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, you got to go back and shock those muscles back into shape to get back into football shape, and that usually takes a lot more work. There's a lot more hip work. There's a lot more footwork that goes into that, and of course, waking up muscles that hadn't been used in months.
You don't want to do the same thing that Odell did. Like he ripped it, and then they did a botched job. That's what the new doctor said after they did it. So you want to make sure he's ready to go, man. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, let's see. Brooks says, my thing is nobody likes our receivers we pick, so why they keep hollering for one? Well, the thing is everybody going to keep hollering because They want us to be other organizations that go out and do dumb things and spend like baseball teams and spend like NBA players, or some NBA owners and stuff. They want us to completely blow this cap in half and be the Saints. They want us to completely be in debt like the Packers. They want us to actually go out like the Rams and put things on a credit card that's going to hurt them 2 years down the road. I want you to take a look. Listen to me now. Take a look at the Rams cap and see what it is now, because it doesn't look terrible, right? Go look at it 2 years from now. Go look at the Saints next year. Look at Green Bay, because they still cleaning up a mess right now. All of them was above 40 mil in negative cap space.
Just to piggyback off of that, if y'all get a chance, if you don't have the app by now, get the Baltimore Ravens app. Listen to the last podcast with the Ravens podcast, and EDC is on there as a guest, and he actually says that. He said, people want to do certain things, with their money. He said, you're not going to pay now, but sooner or later, you're going to have to pay the piper. And that's exactly what he was talking about. That's exactly what Couch was talking about. So that's going to happen. As far as us getting a receiver, though, the interest with Landry, I can see it happening, but I know that we got 90 players right now, and I know that's going to the only way this is happening is it right, honestly, unless they let one of the receivers go. That's one. Number two, Chuck is about to get moved off the books because obviously it seems like he's not happy. Now this is me. I'm not taking no shots.
Where did the rumors come from with the Chuck not happy thing?
It was actually from him.
From him? He said it on the Twitter?
Well, first, Jess Rebeck, Jeff be on his game.
Yeah, Jeff be on it. Yeah.
Rebeck said it, but the tweets came from the first tweet came from Chuck.
Yeah.
Then obviously, before all of that, Jason Lockefeller was saying something, he always capping, but maybe he was actually on or something. But my thing is this, with the whole, and I understand he probably feels the writing's on the wall. Unfortunately, the writing's on the wall. You're not going to, whether you hear now or you hear, you stay for the 2 years, it's going to be over, because we do have Kyle Hamilton. But the whole thing is that they do want to be able to go big nickel, and you do want to be able to have that three safety set in there for certain packages. And that was going to be a great look. And it could have helped. And it's two things. It could have helped him out if he didn't get upset, because he was progressing as a this is his second year, his third year starting as a safety.
I think it's his third. I think it's his third. He had Earl for 2, right?
Yeah, Earl for 2. Okay, so this was his third this past year. This is his best year thus far. As far as he had 2 picks, 3 picks? I know he had 2 in the range.
Like Earl for 1, maybe. I think it was Earl for 1 because he got cut that second year because that's when he threw the punch. But the first year was
so yeah, Earl for 1.
Yeah.
Actually, 2020 it was him and Deshaun, and this year so this is his third year. This is his best year thus far because we were so depleted. He had 3 picks or 2 picks. I know he had 2 in the Rams
game. In one game, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the only picks he had all season. Couple of sacks. This is just me. There's not going. He's very smart. I love Chuck. I think he's a great football player. But the same way you got the job, bro, is you as a 6th-round draft pick, you pretty much undrafted. You were a 6th-round draft pick. You made your way. Now, for him to be unhappy, I feel in my heart, I feel like you should be more grateful than unhappy, and understand that unless you're the quarterback, you gonna keep drafting 1st-rounders if it's the best, especially when you under this franchise. It's gonna be whatever best player available at your position all the time. The best player after we drafted him, the following year, another 6th-rounder, we drafted Deshaun Elliott. So you got to always look at it that way. Like it's always going. We always gonna. That's
when I look at Chuck, I think about it when I do Ubering. You got different types of Uber drivers, right? So when it comes to Chuck is this nice, safe Uber driver. You hop into the Uber and they say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they, there's complimentary water hanging out in the back seats, and nothing's really going to go wrong. It's everything that's supposed to go right with the Uber goes right. There's decent conversation. and then he drops you off at the curb. You give out 5 stars because it was a decent ride. Nothing bad happened. It was good to go. But then you got guys like, Marcus Williams that comes through. You got guys like Hamilton that comes through. And at them as an Uber, they roll up, they roll up to the curb or whatever, might actually run over the curb a little bit. You get in, there might be tickets hanging out of the dash or whatever because they've been speeding. And you're gonna get to where you going because they don't hit a couple corners. They sliding through. They going a little bit crazy driving. It's wild. It's a crazy experience. You probably get out of the car a little bit mad, but guess what? You might be there 5-10 minutes early because of the way that they would drive. So they might be reckless, but they take chances and they get you there. They get you where you need to be. And then, like I said, Chuck has a different route of different things. It's organized, it's structured, and they might be full on organized chaos on this other side, but it's more thrilling, it's more exciting, and they take chances even though they might be wrong. Chuck ain't gonna be one that take them chances like that.
I see where you're coming from. I wasn't even gonna go that far into him. My whole thing is that he got the job when Tony got hurt. He's a very smart player, very intelligent player. But the fall off on the game is there's not going to be any fall off. You understand this is the development of and how complicated our scheme is. Each year Tony got better.
Yeah.
That year he got hurt, he was having his best year. He as a Raven. Okay. And no, I guess he was having his best year because he had that last year the year we had the number 1 defense, he was doing damn good too.
Yeah, I mean, because it takes a lot to be able to, like I said, you can have those who don't have to think much and they just go on the fly. Or you have this guy who knows where everybody's supposed to be on the field. But he was able to push all them around like that.
It's not like Tony didn't know all of those things because Tony helped coach up Chuck.
Yeah.
And he helped coach up Deshaun. Because they always praise both.
Then Mosley had the dot, though?
Mosley had the dot. And then the following year, when Peanut had the dot, Peanut was messing up.
Yeah, and so they gave Chuck the dot.
And that's when Tony got.
They already said before he even took the dot that this was the most cerebral individual they had on the team.
Right.
They knew he knew the playbook back and forth.
He gave Chuck the dot when Tony got hurt. I don't know who had the dot before Tony got hurt in that Pittsburgh game. I was going to say Josh Bonds, but Josh had just got there, so no, he didn't have it. He didn't have the dot. Point being is this: that's it. That Cincinnati game, Chuck didn't play. Tony was out there. Right. He didn't start the game. He came in, and then once he got in the game, things changed. Some people can change the complexion of the game because of how they play ball.
Yeah.
It's not basically all I'm saying is there's not going to be a fall. If Chuck decides that he don't want to be here, we got the replacement on it, and it's not Kyle Hamilton. It's Chuck. I mean, it's Tony Jefferson because who you replace is going to replace you. His odds sometimes Chuck odds is he loses it a little bit. He's a decent cover. He's a very smart player, but he reminds me of Josh Bonds because both of them are very smart, but they're not always in the place they need to be at all times because their odds get lost, or they just physically don't have the ability. Like I don't want Chuck wasn't a great cover on the tight end.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deshaun was better covering tight ends than he was.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd say that.
Tyus Bowser was probably the best one out of any.
He was exceptional in coverage, man. I love watching this guy in zone because he would bait quarterbacks.
Exactly. So he's a box safety. He's not rangy. Now you got somebody you got to understand. Like Kyle Hamilton is different, bro. He's just different. He's been different. He's always going to be different. Bro, we don't care. Tony Jefferson, your boo. We ain't up here trying to make
it. That's right. Now, here's the thing. Brooke ain't loyal because she was with Marlon Humphrey, and then she got a little mad because he started hitting on Zendaya, and then she divorced him. But she keeps making she's like, hella, like, hey, you need to get this guy together because you keep having these crazy takes on the internet about mac and cheese and everything else. She says she can't help it. She can't control him.
I don't hear about him being your boo. Anyway, he knows the system, and now it's a new system, so it's not like. I mean, we still gonna have, as far as like the setup is gonna be like we still have 3-14, but Mike McDonald's coming in with his system. It's gonna be different. You know what I mean? Oh my God.
Yeah, so yeah, her. Y'all don't know her and Marlo. They are ex husband, ex wife. In her imaginary world. So
I'm done with you, bro. We are done, officially done.
but she feel a certain way about Jimmy Smith though. So yeah, she don't like Jimmy.
But basically, all I'm saying is when we go to that big nickel, it's not going to be a fall off at all. You know what I mean? We can go in the nice cover 2 high with Kyle and Williams back there. We can't do that. We couldn't do that with when we went every time. And if I'm not mistaken, every time we did go big nickel, both Deshaun and Chuck was most of the time in the box. Deshaun would drop back.
Yeah.
Chuck now and then would. He can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
You can't go whooping over Tyrese, man. Look, you leave Jimmy alone. Jimmy is probably one of my favorite Ravens. That not of course there's these guys on the wall are definitely some of my favorites, but Jimmy, we're going to get him on the wall. I tell you what, we're gonna get something for Jimmy. We're gonna put him on the wall right over. Yeah, we'll put Justin back on the other wall, and we'll put Jimmy over here. Because we gotta show love for that guy.
But if we do trade Chuck, it's either gonna be for a draft pick, and it might be for a draft pick and a receiver. No,
I can see him going to New York. Honestly, I think Wink will be like, "Hey, bring him on. We'll make a role for him."
I see him this year. Just send him to the Eagles. You don't want to be here? Send him to the Eagles. Send him to the Eagles and get somebody. Unless we gonna get who we gonna get from the Eagles? They not. I mean, from the Giants. The Giants ain't giving them the draft. They give what they giving up.
I was thinking draft picks, but
I mean, they give up a draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it gotta be something good. It gotta be.
I'd say probably a 4 or 3.
Are they gonna give up a 4 or 3 because they still rebuilding? Are they gonna want to? They trying to, and they also trying to clean house. So
yeah,
if you take Chuck, if we take Chuck, I mean, if they take Chuck, you gonna give us? You gonna take Slayton? You don't have to take a receiver.
Let's see here. Leon says, "Who's better, Chris McAllister or Jimmy Smith?" Ooh, I'm gonna let you shoot on that one first, man.
I'm a big Jimmy fan. If Jimmy never got hurt, he was always on the top of the list. Even Richard Sherman even talked about Jimmy. He's like, if Jimmy never got hurt, Jimmy Smith is probably one of the best corners, if not the best corner in the game.
It's like I look at the years, when Chris was playing.
He was a monster.
Before Harbaugh got back here, they were comparing Chris McAllister to Asante Samuels. They were comparing him to Champ Bailey. They were like, "Hey, this is one of the top 4 corners in the league." I mean, when you're on the list of top 4 in the league, when you have monsters like that out there, I was just like, "Yeah, this guy's phenomenal." And he was another one that got stuck in Harbaugh's doghouse. Harbaugh wanted to make an example of a superstar when he came into the building. He knew he couldn't touch Ed. He knew he dare not touch Ray, and because he knew that was Ray's defense, and that team they would fold on him if he came after Ray the way he came after Chris. And then all of a sudden, you see Chris benched. And Chris was benched that first season.
Oh, he wasn't. When?
He dogged that man out. First, he dogged him out in the preseason, and then in training camp, there were conversations that he had with him, and I think he actually started taking some of his playtime away. Then he benched him, and then they cut him. You're talking about 2008, right?
I don't know if he
benched Chris McAllister, man. I'm telling you, Harbaugh and him did not have a good relationship at all.
I don't remember him benching him, brother.
It was bad. I think it was a week where he actually put him as inactive. Like their relationship was so bad.
I don't know about that one.
I mean,
I gotta look.
Like, how do you make a contract where you get? I think it was like $48 million is where his contract was, and then 2 years later you're on the streets. because of the relationship you had with Harbaugh.
Saints after that. He went to the Saints after he left.
Yeah, he went to the Saints after, and then of course his career it fell off a cliff. But it was like Chris McAllister and Harbaugh did not get along. It was because of like he needed to make an example out of somebody.
I remember him playing. I definitely remember him. Remember that game, the first two games when Ed had 2 picks and took him to the house. Especially the one on Cincinnati, and that was thrown his way.
Yeah, it was not a good relationship between them, man. They just didn't have it, and I felt bad because I'm like, Chris still had more on his career. He still had more to give in Baltimore.
You blame your Hogs for this?
That's Harbaugh. That is definitely Hogs.
Man, we
can't. Don't get me wrong. I like Harbaugh. I know. I'm a little upset. Today's a rough day. It's a rough day for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little upset.
You feel it?
I'm all in my feelings right now. Just
who's that? Couch Rider Raven. I can't even get his own name.
I am.
Man is broke up right now. He's broken up. So Tyson, he all broken up. And now he gonna say he's all that Chris McAllister going. Chris McAllister was a bitch that year. I don't believe he's been.
That dude. I'm telling you, go look up the history between them two. It was not as bad. It was not as bad as the Bernard Pollard relationship that he has with the entire organization right now. But it was pretty bad to where it got to the point where Harbaugh basically called him out in practice. They said they didn't give the name, but then all of a sudden you start seeing these things trend and continue to go on throughout that season in 2008. And you could see that Harbaugh wanted to make a point, and Harbaugh made that point with Chris. So let's see. Delicious says, LOL, weird seeing someone wear 22 and 98, not Jimmy Smith or Brandon Williams.
That's because
you take the Williams and you shove that over onto the 22 because that's Demarion now. And 98, that was.
That's the only reason, bro. That's the main reason. Neither one of them gonna make it to the Hall of Fame. You ain't gonna never see nobody wear 20. You ain't gonna see nobody in 55. You ain't gonna see nobody in 52 because they all.
Oh, you don't think Ajabo gonna get that 55?
Who?
Did they already get the numbers out? Did Ajabo get the 55?
He got 90.
He got 9? 90. Oh yeah, 90. Okay, so he got McPhee.
Ain't nobody gonna get that 55.
So I think McPhee is probably about the only person that's upset about that right now. So.
That's the only reason. Nada's still gonna get in the hole, but he ain't gonna get in the hole as quick as Suggs and them.
I feel like this is shade in the hair. See, I'll show love to Jimmy for his 5.5 years of service. He only gets credit for half because he only played in half seasons. Oh, you're so shady. Let's see. It says Harvs don't get along with big personalities.
That's not true. He let Steve Smith be him.
You didn't see him let explode that whole team like Dr. Evil hitting the button after the championship.
Man,
he sent everybody packing. I mean, when you sending Quan for late round picks or for a late round pick, I think it was about as late as possible to send him to the 49ers when he didn't have to. He knew Quan had a backbone. And then all of a sudden Bernard Pollard had a backbone. He had a backbone. He had a backbone. Anybody with a backbone.
Pollard had to go. I would disagree with you, Bernard. Bernard Pollard had a spoken problem. He didn't know how to act right.
Who that?
He had some problems. Pollard had to go.
Oh yeah, but like I said, Pollard he had a backbone and an attitude problem. Harbaugh was like, I'm trying to transform this into what my vision is of it, not necessarily what the Ray Lewis vision is of it. So he was kind of happy that Ray was retiring.
Even Ed didn't really like Bernard Pollard like that. Ed was like, what's my man Hedebo that was on the team?
James Hedebo, the guy who did the shovel.
Yeah, he said when Hedebo came in there for Pollard. He said, I remember this. He said, who was it? Who was Dean? He said, yo, he the better safety. He told him, he said, James is the better safety out of him and Pollard. Pollard is good. Pollard come down and crack your skull. But he said James is a better safety. I mean, he was.
But who was holding Gronk though? Like there was only one safety that could hold Gronk, and that was Pollard.
Because he was good enough, he was physical enough to be with him, yeah. But other than that, like I don't know about hold him, but
It was like he would make Gronk pretty much a non-factor when he was playing
Pollard
against him.
he was a dirty player a little bit, bro. He didn't really make it.
Man.
He got hurt.
Yeah.
Gronk got hurt. He stepped up with it. He hurt his ankle in that game against us.
Yeah, but there were games like anytime we were looking and you see the Patriots playing the Ravens and Pollard was on that field, Gronk was used as a non-factor.
Pollard was only here that year that we played.
I think we won by 3 points, and then all of a sudden we played him in the playoffs. And Gronk,
he only played against New England.
I thought for sure Gronk was there on those occasions, and Pollard was there too, and he was kind of canceling this dude out.
Pollard wasn't there the year before that.
I gotta check
How
that.
long was Pollard there? Pollard wasn't there the year. Pollard wasn't there that year. Maybe.
Let's see here. Brooks says, let's go back to let me go back up here. So Delicious says Ajabo got 90.
Yeah.
He also saying that 52, 20, and 25 is untouchable for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That 55 might be out there. Who knows?
55 ain't nobody touching that 55. Man, that man owned too many records. He had shoe in as a Hall of Famer. He just got to retire. He just get retired.
Chris was a drunk. Who are you talking about? Oh, you McAllister. Okay. I guess maybe he was showing up to practice a little tipsy. I don't know.
He was. The brother he had to sell his Super Bowl rings. He went broke.
Sheesh. All right, Delicious says Paula was on that Bravo Sierra and still is.
see.
Now he is trolling. Now get me wrong. Like his whole job right now is how much
talk the couch.
How much can he troll the Ravens organization?
Yeah. About Tyson Williams, he all blaming everything.
Don't get wrong. Now,
talk the couch.
Like when Pollard was a Raven, Pollard was a full-on Raven. Now that he like nowadays you just see him completely supporting Tennessee and dissing the Ravens every opportunity. He even got into it with Torrey Smith on Twitter. He got into it with Torrey Smith on Twitter. You know, because Torrey was like, "Yo, dude, chill out, man. You was with us, not too long ago. We got you a ring. How about you hush up?" And then freaking Pollard went in on him. They went back and forth for a little bit.
Pollard, because he finished with Tennessee.
I think so. He was just like very softy with the Ravens. I think he didn't like how it ended for him. And I think I said that was when Harbaugh cleaned house. Harbaugh got rid of everybody who had a backbone.
He didn't get rid of Ed. Listen,
Ed won conversation. I'm telling you, it was like this.
I know what Ed said.
Ozzie was in the room. Ozzie said, "Young man, we're gonna stick with you. And then he goes to the next room, and Harv says, "We're gonna let you go."
No, that was with McAllister. He did that with McAllister.
No, that's what he did with Ed too.
Ed was. They didn't cut Ed. Ed was a free agent.
Ed went on live and was like, "This is how they treated me, and this is why I got to go visit where I wanted to go." Because they were like, "Hey, we're gonna keep you along. We're gonna go assign you to the deal."
But he didn't get cut.
Houston rolled out the carpet. Houston rolled out that red carpet.
He didn't get cut. He was a free
agent. He get cut, but at the same time, they were like, "We're moving on from you." That's kind of what Harbaugh said. So of course, like I said, it was a whole sweep of the house.
Do you see what the paper that Ed got at that age?
Yeah, he got banked.
He got paid.
He got banked. Even though he lost 50,000 of
it, he got a bag on top of bags for that age.
Let's see here. Where we at? Delicious says, "Facts, Brooke. He stayed talking stuff about the Ravens. He gave us that ring back." Oh, Pollard. And then, Travis is here in the building. What's good, my man?
Travis, what's up? I gotta get my dinner, man. Messing with you, brother.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's true. Go back. There's a live. I wish they keep these things recorded on Instagram. I want to say Ed Reed went in and talked about the situation to where him and the Ravens organization did not agree towards the end there. And then Houston rolled out that carpet, flew him into town and swept him off his feet. And then he became part of that 3-safety system that didn't work out there. Then he went to the Jets, then he retired. But that's Ed Reed's story basically towards the end. Anyway, so KTSC says Bernard Pollard was okay. Let's not act like he was Cam Chancellor. The dude could thump like Cam Chancellor, but he didn't have all of Cam Chancellor's skill set. They could definitely rock with it, and he could cover the tight end pretty well. Cover Gronk pretty well. So Pollard thought he had that pedigree. When you're a player you think that you have a certain your level of play. You think you probably the greatest. Whenever you on one squad and you a starter for that squad, you got to think, hey, I'm one of the greatest athletes in the world because honestly, you are. And he had that swag, but he turned into a Twitter troll nowadays. KTSC says, facts, Shane, he was twerking in the Chiefs locker room. Like, yeah, I remember that video. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, you're going to bring that up. Probably like right around that time. I think it was like rookie year or something like that. So can't wait for the schedule release Thursday. Absolutely. I'm looking for that as well. The truthful one, because I've seen all these people over here trolling with their schedules. Yeah, they got some stuff leaking. I don't think it's all together. And then for the real ones, people are actually putting the pieces together and putting out a decent piece together schedule. You said he didn't cover Gronk well. I don't know, man. I think he had him. I think he had him covered pretty well. So I'm gonna reach out to you tomorrow or Thursday. Okay. So he had a good moment when he knocked Steve really out, which was helmet to helmet. Yeah. In today's football, that would completely been a helmet to helmet hit. And I think, there was a lot of people that was insensitive in that situation. It caused a lot of fighting in that particular hit. But it was one that jarred the ball loose and got the Ravens to the one step further in the playoffs. I'm not here to praise Bernard. I'm not here to praise this guy. I'm here to just let you know that when he was a Raven, he was very supportive of the Ravens organization, and he was a baller that I appreciated back there because he could do certain things. Like I said, he did cover Gronk pretty well. Go back and look. You could see like there were times because Pollard was on there that Brady had to look away to a different option. Let's see here. But after he left, he just turned into full on, Ravens, a full on Ravens hater. And, best of luck to him, but dude was not the nicest guy to the Ravens anymore. He's full on troll. So when it comes to the Ravens safeties, there's not going to be another better safety than Avery, but I am glad we got Hamilton there because it's going to be something that we haven't had in a while is a two true free safeties sitting back there, or that opportunity to have two true free safeties in the backfield at the same time with Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. Because normally we're rocking with strong safety because nobody has that gambling ability. We had Earl Thomas, but things just didn't work out because he's too busy washing his car instead of showing up to games on time. He getting chased around with Nina. Now he's got warrants for his arrest with all this craziness. But we still had him as a free safety. And that was probably the last true free safety we have. Everything else, everyone else that has been back there since then has been full-on strongs. All right. So KTC says he was cool until he crossed us on Twitter and he feels a certain way about Pollard. Travis says Williams and Hamilton will be a fresh new look for real. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be an amazing look for that secondary. And this is why I like it, because while everybody else wants their wide receivers, they want all these flashy players on offense. The Ravens everybody else is actually going left. The Ravens are going right. Because somebody got to stop. Somebody has to figure out how to stop your Jamar Chases and these explosive wide receiving tandems. Who's going to stop your Cooper Kupps? Who's going to stop all of these explosive wide receivers out there? Is there a defense out there with a secondary that is as good as ours now? Because we are putting pieces together to make sure that we can actually stop those air assaults, those air attacks, to slow the game down a bit, to get our guys off the field, to where these explosive attacks don't get an opportunity to have a blowout. So while you're seeing other teams getting blown out or having these full-on shootouts with these other teams, it's not going to happen with Baltimore because they're built different. They built different, y'all. They built for defense. They built for ground game. They built for time of possession control. 37 minutes of time of possession wins ball games. And that's how Baltimore is built on both sides of the ball. So it's not going to be flashy. It's not going to be this gorgeous looking thing that you're going to see out of Cincinnati. You're going to see out of the Los Angeles Rams. You might see out of Tamisha Brady, all of them. But it's going to be a solid defense that is built against all these air attacks.
I missed some of the stuff that you were saying, but I was just thinking about something. I happened to get on Twitter, and because I heard something about Chuck, and then I got on Twitter, and they have, I think you were telling me about it, when they have the morning thing, good morning tea, Ravens, blah blah, where it's like going into like a clubhouse, you just listening, And I was listening to everybody that's on there. The only reason I really went on there because I saw Coach Sip Talley on there. And I'm listening, and a part of me is like, I'm listening to folks, and I feel like, are we turning into Jets fans? Like, that's how I feel because it's like everything was a complaint.
Oh yeah.
Then they were complaining about, what everything they said was justified, but
Oh, you was on Twitter Voices.
I guess I don't know. I was just, bro. I never got on Twitter. I don't even get on Twitter. Everything from my Instagram go to my Twitter. But
I'm gonna be honest, them folk there when they get in there,
yeah,
the knowledge is not there. There is nothing but emotion in that room.
Yeah, it was a lot of emotion because they talking about why we got Patrick Ricard, get rid of Patrick Ricard. But it's like, okay, we got him. What you? We can't get rid of him now. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
Can't sign. We look if the cap is cap, we can sign whoever we want whenever we want. On top of that, if we get Jarvis Landry, I'm happy. If we don't get him, I'm happy. I understand what's going on, and I understand why people feel a certain way about certain things. Then they talking about trading away Duvernay, and I'm like, what? I'm not listening, but I'm trying to understand where they coming from. Because I want to understand, especially when you a fan of my team, I'm like, what's your take on it? Like, we got to get to a point where we have to. Everybody's built to what you were going. I think this is where you were going. Everybody's built differently. Every coach is built different. We're very blue collar. Pittsburgh, very blue collar. Do they throw the ball? Yes. Are they getting back to running the ball like they used to? Yes. Do we throw the ball? Yes. This is everybody was talking about how we going 9-8. Guess what? Last time they said Baltimore was going 9-8. Guess what happened? We went 14-2, and who won the MVP? Okay, so that ends that part. So again, we have to get. They gotta probably. I'm just thinking out the box, just for a second, because I think everybody got the wrong anticipation on things. Not everyone, excuse me, but maybe we gotta dial back to get everything to go forward. Since we don't have Hollywood anymore, since we had so many injuries. So maybe we got to dial back. And we had the COVID situation. What can you pile on? It's like, I want to build you this house, right? Just giving the best analogy I can think of right now. I want to build you this house. But we keep running out of all the parts that we need. Or we get the parts and something breaks. Or this is rusted. So I gotta rebuild certain parts. I'm not saying Giro is the best OC, but right now. I understand this is our system. We come to punch you in the face, and that's what we gonna do. It's straight body shots when we running that ball, and body shots open up to efficiency. I'd rather Lamar be efficient and we win, opposed to him trying to air it out and be like Kansas City, and that's not what we don't have receivers. We don't have that type of scheme. Not even that we don't have the receivers. We don't have that scheme. And I'm sure every receiver want to be this and that. But until the scheme happens. Willie Snead wasn't complaining when we was 14-2.
That's because he wanted to get fed.
On top of that,
he's like, okay, if I play good and stop sit here and whining and whatever like that and be part of the solution versus the problem. But then the second he goes to leave town, he blasts G-Roll on the way out the door.
This is the problem. Jokers can't get open. That was the problem. It wasn't the fact that Lamar can't throw the ball. You got to get some type of separation. I should not have to. I don't care how fast you are. If you can't separate, I can't help you. And you can't help me. And that's the truth. You ain't got to be the fastest receiver on the doggone planet. You just have to know how to run your route or be a smart receiver.
And the thing was, if Snead was so good, would Snead actually would he have not gotten cut by the Raiders last year? If his talent level was really up there, he would have still stayed with a job. Instead, Renfro beat him out, and they recognized that signing Snead was a mistake.
So I don't understand when And I'm gonna tell y'all this too. I don't know if that was a low blow because I know Willie loves Lamar, but again, it feel like to me, I feel like when receivers leave because we lose a playoff game or they don't like the system, it's like, well, we got it, but Lamar got to decide to throw me the ball. Lamar got to decide to do this or blah blah blah. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. Like either you want to win. When we winning, everybody happy. When we losing or we lose some type of way, then all of a sudden it's like, well, this didn't go right because I wasn't involved type thing. Instead of just taking it on the chin and be like, yo, we didn't do what we had to do. Just take it on the chin.
I
And
agree.
that's
I think when you're a competitor, you're supposed to have some type of team protection to where you don't go out and blast your teammates, whatever. Long
like you ready to go in? You here? I see you here.
Who that? Who ready? Who ready? All right. So we gotta go back up to Deep real quick. So Deep says, "I like he likes a two free safety system instead of two strong safeties because the teams will become more wide receiver dependent. Other teams need to be able to cover more range. Two strong safeties don't accomplish that. Yeah, if you got two guys in a box, and guess what? Somebody's getting loose down the field across the middle. So just keep that in mind because those strong safeties, usually can't go along and cover cover some ground the way a free safety will.
What I tell you about Kyle Hamilton earlier today?
Kyle
Hamilton is everything.
Yeah,
he's a free safety. He's your strong safety. He's your weak side linebacker.
He is your mama. He is your daddy. He is your sister when you need her.
Mm-hmm. He's your pusher.
He's your pusher, man. All right, so Travis says, nah, but social has definitely got all voices being heard now. So yeah, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because of the fact that there are Ravens out there showing that Ravens fans showing that they ain't got a lick of sense, a lick of common sense. They don't have a lick of management experience or any type of information. When it comes to managing a roster, they don't understand the cap. There's a lot of issues when it comes to our Baltimore Ravens fans, and they putting those opinions out there. It's more emotion based versus them going after the facts. And it's a struggle. Don't get me wrong. There are some very intelligent people within the Twitter spaces, but then there's also some just voice bullies. They just want to bully others in the room because they just feel like dogging them out. But at the same time, they don't have the facts. I'm just like, what is going on in this room? And then some people have rooms that are regulated, and other rooms there's just full on people cussing each other out. Like, I don't understand Twitter voices because it is just a full on like cowboy town. Like they just go crazy in them joints.
Yeah, you're right.
Travis has a question for you about Landry and Peters. What do you think about Landry and Peters? Landry, but Landry.
I think somebody put that out there. That's why Landry felt that way because he didn't know about it. That's what made it, and it's the midst of a rivalry, right? That was a heck of a game that they played that night, right? Mm-hmm. So somebody said, "Oh, he spit at you," and that's when Landry responded. He was like, "If he did, he's a coward." That's what he said.
I don't think Peters meant to spit at him. I think he spit out, and it just happened to be in that direction.
I ain't even that type of man. I didn't spit at him. So, and the thing, it probably came from somebody that's a Cleveland reporter, and they trying to start some drama because when it was discussed, it went all the way from there. Next thing you know, you heard it on Undisputed, you heard it on First Take,
mm-hmm.
And Peter said, "Yo, I didn't spit at anybody." And then they got to review. Let's review. There's something to talk about, right? People need something to talk about.
And they just stirring the pot. The thing about Peters, if he's mad at you, or if he got beef with you, he is going to let you know firsthand. He gonna be in your face, like, "Yo, where you from? Talk that stuff now, homie." You know what I'm saying? Gonna be in your grill about all that. There's another question. Delicious says, "How y'all feel about James Bradbury?"
We get him. We just if he's looking for a big paycheck, he ain't coming here.
Yeah, according to Pro Football Cap, his skills wasn't they weren't that great. Pass coverage was like a 62 or something like that. Run defense, not even. Yeah, it was all the way in the red. It was pretty bad, and I think there's a reason that the Giants are feeling comfortable. Like, hey, we can let this guy go and move forward because they don't have that much confidence in him. Like, if he was the one they wanted to marry, they would have married him.
It's not just that for them. They need cap space. They messed up. They whatever Dave Gettleman did, he messed everything up. So they got to get rid of players. That's why all the receivers are on the chopping block to be traded or going. Gettleman messed a lot of the stuff up because he was a Pro Bowl safety. I mean, Pro Bowl corner the year before. That's what got him that deal. So
what's this? Hold up, I must have missed something. What are y'all talking about trading Duvernay? I'm not.
Oh no, because that's what I was talking about they said that in the thing I was on Twitter. They said
in the spaces. Oh
yeah,
man, that's what they gonna crack, man.
I was like, trade Duvernay. Why are we doing that? Why?
They just come up with so that's the difference, I think, with the spaces. I have to remember that the spaces are what Ravens fans want to do. And then, of course, you have our YouTubers who some talk about what the Ravens are currently doing and what may be projected that actually makes sense, is logical. Twitter Spaces is not as logical. They're kind of more in a dream scenario situations, and then they want to fire everybody. So it's kind of fire everybody, trade everybody, and spend the bank until there's nothing left, because I'm pretty sure they got a lot of payday loans that they hadn't paid off.
My bald head. I'm just trying not to eat no chicken there. I'm gonna eat my dinner. I gotta eat my dinner.
All right. So Brooke says Ravens fans have been complainers for a while. Oh yeah, absolutely. So on her page, they really go crazy with the dream scenarios and what everybody should do. Let's see. She should pass away if they trade Dube. I don't think it would make sense to trade Dube unless they brought in, and I'd hate to say this, but yeah, if they traded Duvernay to, and somehow, I don't know how the details of working this out, but bringing in Debo and then getting rid of Dube, I would be like, okay, cool. All right, Delicious says, Travis says, Delicious, I don't think Bradbury would take an EDC offer, to be honest. No. He's probably the best free agent right now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know how he does. He does them low ball offers to see exactly what the feeler is out there.
Yep.
And Travis says, Jokers can't get open.
That was a problem though in the playoffs. Think about it, and all the analysts talked about it when we lost to Tennessee. I'm not even talking. I'm talking about the MVP year when Snead wasn't all feeling some type of way. Jokers couldn't get open. They can't get open on simple routes. I don't care if it's high school, college. I don't care what the route call is. If you can't get open, and the only man that's getting open.
Yeah, didn't they have like 7 drops in the Tennessee game too?
Yes. Everybody was dropping the ball other than Hollywood.
And I think if the balls had been caught, like chains would have been moved. That game would have looked completely different in those game changing situations. When the game's on the line, you got to make plays, man. Big time players make big time plays in big time games.
He got the best payday here. Sorry.
All right, let's keep rolling here. So Travis says, definitely best corner left in free agency. I doubt he would come here.
Oh.
Y'all cool, but I can't get on this G-Row train. I simply tolerate him because I have to. So you're going to take that. You're going to take G-Row. You're going to take him. You're going to deal with him until we fire him. Or he gets hired or somewhere else. You're going to take that. Just be on board with, I know it's tough, but it's proper followership to recognize this is the direction that Harbaugh and ADC want to go in, and they are building around this idea because they went and got those 2 tight ends because they know that is what succeeded in 2019. They can try and replicate something along those lines to where we come out there with the 13 personnel set, rock it out with 3 tight ends on the field at the same time, have likely basically being one of those tight ends that can get open like a wide receiver along with Mandrews, and having Boyle or other tight ends there ready to rock. This could be something special that teams just can't prepare for. They won't have the personnel to match up on this. Like, who's going to match up? Unlikely. You're going to put a tight end on, or you're going to put a corner on him? I don't know. He might out-physical that corner. Are you going to put a safety on him? he might actually speed past that safety. It's a difficult situation. You can't put that linebacker on him. Know that for sure. So yeah, there is that situation that it gives a look that is unfamiliar to defenses that they're going to have trouble preparing for. Let's talk about Deed here says some fans are acting like the nice guy who is told to act like a Jack, you know what, to get the girl when they are doing just fine being themselves.
Go ahead, preach.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
What Jack said?
What I missed, I think he was talking about the dude thing. I think you cleared that up already. So Willie Sneeze said something about Lamar. No.
That's what I was talking about when he was the last game after the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
He said they were talking to him, and he's talking about how, I mean, first of all, the weather was horrible. He said something, and it's up to Lamar. He got to, for him to get to where he wanted to be. And he was giving him praise, but at the same time, it seemed like he was taking a shot at the same time. I could have read it wrong.
Oh, he's taking shots at G-Ro, no doubt. Like all of his comments that he put on Twitter, every single one of those were shots at G-Ro. Him and Dez took shots, and Hollywood liked on each one of those daggone posts.
Okay.
So we can see that he was being shady as well. All right, so the Delicious says, I know it sounds crazy, but if this offense comes out slow in the first half of the first two games, G-Ro got to go.
Yeah, he probably will go.
I'm telling you, this comes down to the installs, but it also may come down, and y'all probably ain't gonna like this, but quarterback got to get to the stadium just a little bit faster. If he's coming out slow and early in the games and then catching on in second half, this is where your quarterback comes out just a couple minutes, a couple more minutes early, warm up with the team, and get those reps in, get those passing reps in. He said it himself. There's been games where he just doesn't come out there and throw, and then all of a sudden, what happens? He gets hot after the lead has already been taken by the other team. And then, of course, he comes in and saves the day. Yeah. But wouldn't it be nice for him to come out there, get a couple reps in early, get into a rhythm with his teammates? Huh?
Yeah, he says maturity. Sometimes he just get there hour before the game. He says maturity. He's definitely going to get there early.
Yeah.
We'll get there earlier.
Wear a seatbelt, dang it. Anyway, I throw a little shade here and there. But so Brooks says, Willie says something around the way about G. Oh, yeah, he had plenty of comments. So Travis says, a lot of safety talk, my guy. How you doing, Jack?
Yes. Oh, because Jack said something about Kyle Hamilton being too light. I saw something. You got to scroll up.
Back up there.
Jack said Kyle Hamilton too light. Got to get his weight up. Well, he ain't growing. He's 6'4", 220. It's not that he's too light, Jack. He just got to get stronger. But he just got to get that grown man strength. He's still a young boy, bro.
Okay, he said Luke Hamilton need to put on some weight, kind of like, okay, now I'm tracking. I'm like, where are y'all at? All right, so let's go down a little bit. It says, by the way, Delicious, why Couch Rooter keep calling you Delicious? Why am I Couch Rooter? am I Couch Rooter now? Oh, boy. So clearly your handle says Dre. Okay. So it's just simply we were having fun with it initially and it just stuck. He is Delicious Jacqueline.
Pause.
All right. So Twitter spaces are definitely the definition of echo chambers. And so what happens is people get all this frustration, this poison from these spaces, and then they start spewing this out as if it's doctrine. Next thing you know, somebody's in the Twitter rumors putting this mess that was in the Twitter spaces into the Twitter rumors. The blue checks are sitting here like, and then they just, it's just one, like you said, it's a big echo chamber. Everything just goes crazy in there.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. So Jack says Landry would be hands down better than any receiver we have, including Bateman. Agree. No, I don't agree.
I thought you agreed.
I'm just going to just put it out there. No, I do not agree. So Landry is a serviceable.
With that face that you just made. Nope.
I was like, no, I don't agree, man. I don't agree. And the reason being is because Landry is a serviceable slot type receiver, and he's basically at the sunset of his career. Like we can get 2 good years out of him if he came to Baltimore. Bateman is a guy who is going to come. He's going to be serviceable for the next 6-7 years, and more than serviceable. He is the guy who will be the X for the Baltimore Ravens. He'll be a deep threat for the Ravens. He can also play in a slot. He is a switchblade, a Swiss Army knife caliber type player that can play wherever. You know what I'm saying? He can do a lot. And I don't think Landry has a complete portfolio like Bateman will show us this year that he has.
Bateman is can play outside and inside.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like you see those things, and I'm like, okay. But then you got Landry, and I'm going to go ahead and say Prochet. Landry and Prochet. Prochet basically modeled some of his game, and he said it himself after Landry and Steve Smith.
I think that he would be a good addition. It would make him the number one receiver, nowhere near the number one receiver. But I would think
I don't know.
he'd be a good addition because you know what, it would help Crochet. I don't think he's still young. He's only 29?
Mm-hmm.
Landry.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. He would help Crochet. He would help all of them because one, his attitude. Two, just the energy and the toughness that he brings. I like Duvernay because I don't know. He played his swag is different, bro. He got that old school vibe to him, I guess, like Steve Smith does. Like, you know, he not running past you, but he's a great route runner where he will get open on you. But then he's still talking because he got great hands. He probably in some likeness he looked like he had better hands than Odell. Certain catches, but I mean we couldn't lose with somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know if he probably looking for that bag too.
Yeah, I'm like the price tag. I mean, right now Baltimore is sitting pretty terrible when it comes to cap space right now.
I don't even know if we signed all our rookies yet. I don't even think all of them signed.
Yeah. So you got to sign a rookie class. You got to sit here and find, you know, they got to figure out like how they're going to make some extra room, whose contract they're going to restructure. Yeah, there's opportunities. I think I've mentioned this in the past that, you know, if you cut a few people, let's say they restructure Peters, if they restructure Boyle, so that's probably about $9 million that they could actually do right there. If they, you know, push a little money down the road to keep Peters here, and then push a little bit more money down the road to keep Boyle, so that's about $9 million that they can open up. They cut Ferguson.
They extend both of their contract. Did they do an extension on both of them?
Yeah, they can do extensions to push it down a little bit down the road, you know, but keep, let's say, you know, when they do this extension, let's say they pay like $1 million this year, but then they spread the majority of that later money to 2 and 3 year deals later down the road, and actually made one of those years voided out. So it'd be a year that they would not play for us, but we'd have to deal with that cap loss,
right?
That cap hit. That's kind of what the Saints is doing right now. So like right now, you know, it looks good on paper. They got 20 mil, or they had 20 mil in space before they signed Tyron. So, but it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them big time. With us, it would be smart deals that we would hurt just a little bit, maybe having an extra 15 mil of dead space because of the deals that we made here. So if they cut Ferguson, that's about $1 million. They cut Hills, another $1 million. And if they cut Marshall, that's $825,000 saved as well. So there's where they can make up some of that room right there. So you're looking at a good, I don't know, 14 million cap space if they do some of these deals. Let's see. Let's keep rolling down here. Oh man, I missed a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Jack says, SoCouch Rider, how long do you plan on rushing Lamar for 1,000 each year? He won't last, but all that. When did I say that? I plan on rushing Lamar for 1,000 each year.
Jack, where you be coming with this, B? You coming ready to rumble, bro.
He coming back on. He heating up. You can see him just starting to turn the coals over. What is crazy?
Nobody said anything about Lamar rushing for 1,000.
Yeah, I'm just like, look, but at the same time, like, you know, I'll bite.
No, does because we ain't say nothing about that. You ain't never say that about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't say that. He just decided just to throw it in my mouth, right? So when it comes to Lamar, what he does on with his legs is dynamic. It's exceptional, and I think it's a piece of his game that still needs to be there. It is an absolute big piece of that game that needs to be there. Doesn't need to be the only piece. Do they need to ride him like they rode him last year? No. Does he need to get 1,000 yards every season? No. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that they need to use what he has with the progressions. Like, all right, he's check one. It's not there. Check two. If they can't get open, there should be no check three in my mind. Bolt. Get upfield, get what you can get, and get out of bounds. I remember the best example of this was when he was playing against Tampa Bay, I think in his rookie season. He would get what he could get, and then he would get out of bounds. Next thing you know, it was 10 yards all the time. 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. And it was frustrating as heck for the defense quarter because they had no answer. Like, that's what I would like to see out of Lamar. Check one, check two, run. Hit the doors open, run through that joint. What do you think?
I'm just trying to figure out when you said 1,000 yards. I don't think Lamar's going to have to run for 1,000 yards anymore. I think that was just, I mean, that year he did it when it was something special then in 2019. Good night, bro. 2020 when he did it, I don't think he planned on it. I think since some of those runs was like huge runs, they were like he had 350-yarders.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you the quarterback. You flipping off 50-yard, and no, it's not like anybody was catching him. It wasn't like he got 50 yards, he got hit. He just wasn't catching.
And these were it was an inverted veer play that they saw an opening on to where Lamar was able to make the middle linebacker make a bad decision off of one juke in the backfield, and he was he was bolting to the end zone.
It's like they parted like the Red Sea. He was like, oh, especially how many times they look confused in that Dallas game. It was all over the place. Like, we got to get back to that where they don't know what's going on instead of just keying on the ball. As far as like when you gonna run that RPO, but I don't think we're looking for that. That's definitely not what we're looking for. And most of it, and be honest with you, if you really think about it, most of Lamar's biggest runs come when he's scrambling. He just takes off. I mean, he did it his rookie year. He did it he does it every year. Like, when he takes off, you just don't know what to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to throw the ball. Just because Jack said it, let me remind you. I remember that. Okay, we lost to Pittsburgh, right? When we lost the first time we lost to Pittsburgh last season. Do you know how many times he almost hit somebody for like down the field for like a reception when he was just off the scramble? How scary he was! Like, even T.J. Watt came out and said he said, Lamar is a problem. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do, and I don't know. I'm trying to you prepare for him, but you still don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's why I thought Mike Tomlin took the time out, which it just pissed me off even more against him. We respect him, but we don't fear him. That had to be said, bro. Because you won the game, we respect him, but we don't fear him. I was like, man, shut up, Mike.
He had to say something tough. He can't just roll out there, hey, we survived that boy.
Yeah, we don't fear him.
Yeah. He can run.
Whatever.
He can throw, man. He can do it at home, man. Goodness gracious. We just barely made it out of there.
Yeah, but I don't think we're looking for him to do that, bro. That was the plan was actually for one of the running backs to get over 1,000 this year. But apparently we had no running game unless Lamar was running the ball this year.
Yeah, and that's because, like you said, somebody was stuck in the basement. Just saying.
He wasn't doing nothing when he was out the basement. Y'all,
this man, let me go back to his numbers.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
3 games.
3 games, though. Like, his first game was 7.2 yards a carry, man. He had a touchdown that first game. 965.
Basement. Go ahead.
Then
run defense in the basement. Hold on.
Week 2. This man had 13 for 77, which was 5.92 yards per carry.
Against who?
That was against Kansas City.
Run defense is in the basement. Continue.
Oh, my God.
Who else we talking about?
Then even against Detroit, he had 5 carries, 22 yards. It was still 4.4 yards per carry. And then they just decided to just kidnap him. They had the white van.
Stop running
They
the ball.
pulled up the white van to M&T Bank Stadium. They shoved the dude in, put the bag over his head, and then we didn't see him since. We
No,
didn't see the man since.
they didn't look. They wasn't. We stopped running the ball. Period on that game.
Yeah,
We stopped completely running the ball.
it's
That
just
whole
it's
game.
just crazy. But then it's like, okay, when they went back to running,
Okay.
the running game looked horrible, absolutely horrible. Until they figured out like Freeman,
He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing in that Cincinnati game. He didn't do nothing in that Chargers game.
but they didn't put him in.
Wasn't it? What the Chargers game?
They didn't give Tyson carries, man.
He
They
looked like.
didn't and they didn't give him substantial workload. They didn't give him substantial workload like they gave him in weeks 1 through 3. He didn't have above 5 carries the rest of the season on the games.
Murray
was bad.
Murray was the only one that was giving us something. To me, in my opinion, even that Denver game before he got hurt, he was the only one that was giving us something. We not go. I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed with none. I was happy to see some things that Tyson did. I was happy to see some things that Freeman did. I was very happy that Murray got busy a few times because nobody wanted to tackle that Joker. That was almost like, that was.
Yeah, but it was all short. Like for him, it was short, like short yardage. Though.
But that's
short,
what I mean. But they were putting 8 in the box every game.
That's when you're supposed to pass. That's exactly when you're supposed to pass. They put that 8 in the box.
Yeah,
man.
they would do. That's what Denver did the whole game. Denver
was like, why weren't we audibling? That was the question. Like, why weren't we audibling after that?
That go to scheming. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, that's a little bit on G-Road on some things, but at the same time, then it comes to personnel. Like, you had success when this guy was in the game, and then you're not giving him the rock at all.
We out there to a receiver spot. I understand that one, but that's another day.
I feel you. All right, so let's see here. KTSC says, we're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to make some rhymes or something? I don't know.
Just wild.
He got bars. I don't know. Anyway, so Landry said Landry's not going to put us over the top. So here's my thing. I guess this is my question. If Landry is not here to put us over the top, why are we signing him? Why would we want to sign him unless he's going to up this team and make it in a top tier echelon team?
He's not a receiver that's going to. Let me explain something to y'all. And this is me. It's not a receiver that's going to put us over the top. It's going to be the scheme and how we pass the ball. And if we in this year, like I said before, and I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna preach this into the season. I'm gonna preach it even during the season. We marry the passing game to that 2021's passing game to 2019's running game. We good.
Yeah.
And the only reason we're gonna be able to do that is because we got T and Key. We didn't have T and Key. The scheme, the route, the passing coordinator, Keith is doing a wonderful job because the passing game was totally different. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be able to do anything. To be honest,
there's a beef going on in here. Let's see here. So Jack is saying,
Jack always talking some shit.
Yeah, you got it.
Jack always talking.
Jack says you're talking about keep G-Road. G-Road would run Lamar to the ground. Okay, like I said, these are comments that don't have necessarily I don't really know what to even respond with on that. So let's see what Travis says. We saw last season what happens when we don't have a running back committee for Lamar. It's not on all on LJ. I think now that we have the running back committee back, I think this is going to be like Jack. This should help answer the question to where he's not going to run Lamar into the ground because he has more options than Lamar. But of course, you come back through with some more craziness saying, so basically you want Lamar to be a 1-2 read QB. So do you plan on Lamar progressing or do you view him as a gimmick?
He's talking about what you were saying about what he should do instead of with his reads. That's what he's referring to. No, I don't think. I got you. No, I understand. He doesn't want him to be a gimmick, but you just want. I mean, you can answer for yourself. You're your own man. I'm just thinking, just to answer the question, Jack. What he's trying to say is that instead of holding until we get a different scheme, instead of holding the ball, if it's there, go. That's basically what Couch is saying. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
I'm like, take what the defense puts in front of you. And like, you have dynamic legs. Do not sit there and let media dictate you using those legs, or even other players. Like Cincinnati mind game Lamar before those games and said something basically about he's a running back that can throw the ball. That was a mind game to play with Lamar, to let him know, like, hey, I bet you can't throw from the pocket. When his legs are dynamic, his arm is dynamic, and they try to make him one dimensional with those mind games. If Lamar goes in and plays his game the best way, he know how to play it. He's going to use both.
Let me say this: there's no way you can make this man a gimmick when you come out and Lamar. Every year they move the goalposts back on this dude. Let me tell you something. Last year, can he come back? What did he do? Out of like 5 of the 8 games that we played before he got hurt. I'm just referring to the wins. 5 of those 8 wins, he came back. Indianapolis, he broke a record. He did something that in NFL history has never been done.
Yeah, he was leading the league in yards per reception.
He threw the ball. Let me get it, and I want to get this correct. At least he threw the ball like 50 times, only incompleted. Only 2 receptions were incomplete. He broke the record. I think it was at least 50 times, but the number was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the comeback right there with Indy, that was phenomenal. Here we are almost rolling into the end of the third quarter. I think it was like probably 3 minutes left, or maybe 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and they're down significantly.
Yeah,
and he brings them back, dang near 20-some points to win that game. That was phenomenal on Hollywood. He gone. He gone. Whatever. But that was phenomenal. The team, they brought it together, and don't just say, "Hey, that was just Lamar." That was a team mentality, folks. That was offensive coordinators, coaching. That was wide receivers, tight ends, the line. Everybody brought it together that game. Alejandro had a decent game that game, protecting Lamar's backside, making sure that Lamar didn't go down in the middle of this comeback. So you got to give, as much as we dog all these people out, they came together as a team to come back and win those games. You got to recognize it's a team concept when it comes down to it,
But it's definitely, he's not a gimmick. Lamar's proven each year how great he is. He's the unanimous MVP. He was the number 1 passer in the pocket. Before that, he was.
It's like, okay, so here it comes. He says Lamar will be more deadly in a spread offense with good receivers. That way he could get huge chunks of yards off of scrambles. What do you think?
I do agree with that, though. I agree. I mean, but he would be able to show that he can pass the ball. But that was the offense that he came from.
Yeah, and mix it up. They can have a balance of RPO. They can have a balance of spread placed in there, because that's still going to keep those teams off guard. Now, my problem is when they go 11 personnel a little bit too much and then playing a little bit spread. Like in last year, they didn't have the offensive line to do that. Right. Lamar was taking all those sacks because of the NASCAR packages. He was taking those sacks because of the packages that did not allow him much time to throw the ball.
You should be everything should be like 10 yards down the field or more. Somebody got to run some shorter routes.
Yeah, give me some mesh, give me some drags, give me something along those lines to where somebody's uncovering immediately. And that's why I believe, honestly, where James Prochet is going to excel. Because when it comes to those short routes and finding those little holes in the defense, that's where James Prochet is going to excel for this team. Intermediate level and short level, James Prochet, that's where it's at.
He comes from a spread system anyway in Louisville, so he's very comfortable in that spread offense. That's why every time, especially when we had to have a comeback, like in the Pittsburgh game, in the Indianapolis game, every time it's no problem for him to march anybody down the field when it happens. He'll make something happen. So,
So KTSC says, "Don't play dumb." I'm pretty sure he's talking to Jack.
No, he's talking to you because you know about the Hollywood shop. We talking about the 85 beds.
Oh yeah. All right. So Travis says, "I feel some oldies up here." Oh yeah. We definitely showing our age in here with this mess. All right, so Jack going again. So the Cincinnati game, the defense gave Lamar running lanes. Okay, so sometimes you say because, and it throws me off. So Lamar has been killing teams with his arm. Bengals sold out on the pass, dropped everyone into coverage, and let Lamar run. I don't.
In that game,
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
that's
I think they were daring Lamar to. to pass.
hold on. That you got to show me. I don't believe that. That's actually incorrect because they were running a lot of times. They were running a zero blitz too. A lot of
Yeah.
people started running especially after the
Miami game.
no, before the Miami game. Miami was just the ones that were able to cover it the right way because they
Yeah.
had the right.
They had a zero blitz that was more. So since they had a zero blitz that was more of press, closer to press.
But we didn't have again. Miami's defense is better than their defensive backfield is way better than Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
You can send everybody. You can send the house. You got two good corners on the end. But
bro, where you getting this? Stay off the drugs, man. Just stop it. Don't do the drugs. In what world did I say I don't like Lamar as a passer?
what?
Like, stop the drugs, bro. You know, stop sniffing the glue, the paint markers, whatever you got in there. Get out of that room right now. Go to rehab. Go call somebody. Get some help. Get some help, man. Because I never said I don't like Lamar as a passer. I think Lamar is a dynamic passer.
But I wanted to get to
y'all keep thinking every time y'all say Lamar.
Every
time y'all say Lamar, did I like Lamar's running ability, right? Just because I like his running ability does not mean he is not a dynamic passer. Just because y'all sit here and say that he's a running quarterback does not mean he does not have a dynamic arm. Y'all just think because he has a great set of legs that he doesn't have an arm. Y'all don't never give this man credit for both. Stop the crack, bro. Stop the crack, Jack.
Hey, hold up. Hey, yo, Jack, you gotta chill out, yo. Couch is broke up right now because we cut Tyson Williams. So
I'm still hot. Right I'm still hot. Oh boy, what's up, man? LBAT in the building.
You gotta leave that man alone, bro. I forgot what we talking about. You all right?
Oh, I'm good, man. Jack, I'm good. But it's just like he just keep saying he puts all these assumptions out here, like as if I said this stuff. I'm like, when in what word did I say this stuff? He takes it and it just gets lost in translation, as if it's like you got Spanish, you got Spanish that's down in Mexico, and then you got Spanish that's over here in Europe. And it's just lost in translation or something along those lines as far as the dialect, because what's coming out of my mouth is going into his head all scrambled every which way and turning into all types of just dog water. Basuda. It's bad. Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, we got LBHT in the building. So if y'all have not, if you're here, then I want you to be there as well. So Lunch Break Hot Take is one of the funniest shows out there. They have a different perspective than Couch Rider and Kam Ru, but they have a fun perspective. It's entertaining as all get out. Like I said, sometimes they're ready to hit the Dr. Evil button and fire everybody, but their mentality is funny, it's entertaining, and they have a good time in their rooms. They usually come on Wednesdays around 6:15 Central. So if y'all can go in there and hit that like and hit that subscribe for them, and of course, if I got 16 people in the room, that your boy gets 16 likes. And if you're new to the room, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down.
The name is Jack. Simmer down, because you killing Couch right now. He ready to go through the daggone TV.
It's like, because I said, dude, you slow down on the typing, man. You hurting my eyes right now. I said Lamar would be better in spread, but you said he wouldn't. I said a balance. Actually, there you go again. It got lost in translation. Then we went from Spain to Tomago because you got your Spanish on. He's just stirring it up. I said a balance. You ain't hear a daggone thing I said, boy. You was on punishment a lot, weren't you, back in the day? Because you didn't hear nothing your parents said. Nothing.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
That was funny. Yo, we got to chill out, yo. Couch is broken up.
Anyway, so Travis is subscribing to LBHT. So there you go, man. Got you a sub there. Appreciate all the love you've been helping get this show as well. So Like I said, it's just brotherly love right there, man. Appreciate it. LBHT actually believes in Lamar as a pastor. Yes,
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, they do. They just don't like everybody else. So
Yo, Jack.
yes, definitely hit that thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying his best to, he's just going to pay for the next few comments or whatever, Jack, because I ain't trying to hear that mess, bro.
Oh, he's just trying to start trouble.
Oh yeah, he's trying to start some mess, man. But yeah, so we had an hour and 55. Brooke decided to go to bed versus actually keeping our clock going for us. But like I said, with each show now we are going to do just kind of a motivational moment. I want to make sure that we're taking care of you people, taking care of our people. And I say our people, I'm talking about everybody in this room that is part of this community. And we want to make sure that y'all stay motivated, stay ready to rock, and have that energy that you need to go throughout your life, because, there's been some events that have gone on recently in my own life with my family, with members from church, all this. And I just want to make sure that y'all got what y'all need as far as that fuel. If I can add to that, to your lives, then I'm going to be part of that inspiration. Kam Ru and I are going to add to that motivation. Of course, this man is a full-on coach here, so I know he's got motivation for us in general. So I just want to say thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate all the love that everyone has given both LBHT and myself, because we took this journey, I think sometime last year, both of us, and we have gone places. Jose and Rodney have gone places. Couch Rider Raven and Kam Ru has gone places. We both hit 1,000 subscribers just right around the corner from each other. And it's a Baltimore Ravens community of folks who just love just chatting it up, having a good time. So tell some friends. As EDC says, tell your mom, tell your friends.
Mamas.
Yes. Yeah, tell them you love them, and make sure you're there for somebody. Like I said, we'll keep those motivational moments going on the show. We're gonna rock out because it's Tuesday night, and normally we rock the show on Wednesday night, but we just had some things going on. I had to make a choice. Church, show. So of course I made the choice to make sure that people in my church is taken care of. So it is what it is. But we'll be rocking. I don't know what the topic will be next, but I'm pretty sure Twitter, some of y'all Twitter voices will probably dictate that, or some news from Blue Checks or Jason Lott Cap will give us that news that we need. My boy says family, the most important, absolutely. But
talk to your man, Jack, yo. Talk to your man.
Yeah, somebody please call Jack, get him some help. For 29 cents a day, YouTube can actually support crackheads like Jack Conklin. So this is the home of original sports perspectives. From our couch to yours. Thanks for tuning in. This is your Couch Rider Raven. It's my main man, Kam Ru. Y'all take care. Peace out.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.